let's go. So guys, this is the first episode of the Thursday night special. We're calling it the Responsible Bet this weekend, but it is a gambling special. It's going to be every Thursday. We're going to talk picks. We're going to talk best bets. We're going to talk best picks. We're going to get everything lined up. And the best part about all this is that we got two new hosts leading the way. We got Lil Snupe up in my top right, and we got Kyle. Kyle the boy, still to be named. Do you guys want to introduce yourself?
Kyle.
Lil Snupe. Great to hear.
Yep.
Great passion we got from these guys. So I mean, what's the plan? We're gonna be dropping weekly picks for college football, NFL, possibly MLB. It's gonna be everything. Bottom to top. We're gonna go softball to golf, right?
We got it all.
Absolutely. All right.
Anytime there's something going on, we've got picks for it.
So let's first start out by saying what inspired you guys to be here today?
Love gambling, sports. Been through it all as soon as I was legally allowed to do so. And yeah, just sharing those picks with everybody.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's just so easy, like
so easy winning.
I'll kind of share some of my picks later today. And Akahi sat me down one day and he was like, "Man, I just don't know how you do it. How do you put together these, almost blatantly obvious picks? Do you think you could do some charity work and share it with my viewers?" And knowing how large Akahi's fan base is, I figured, I might as well give back to the community and, share my picks with the world. So here I am.
Appreciate that, Lil Snupe. But this is your show now, so it's time for you to take the reins, and it's time for you to tell everyone how good you are at gambling. I've seen you out there on the war tables, You're making the big money out there. And so you need to share that love with all the viewers.
Yep. Well, should we just get right into it? I mean, Kyle, I think you have kind of a schedule, but...
No, I mean, yeah, I'm glad to introduce the show. We got to tell people what's coming. We've got futures, season props, probably specifically for this show, just because get the season started. And we got weekly picks in whatever league, whatever event is going on. So me and Jet actually had a trial run last week. We put down some bets and we started off slow, and we finished pretty hot into the weekend, into the Labor Day weekend. Just a quick recap: we had started off Illinois -4.5 against UTSA. That was just, we followed Tom Fernelli, guest on Part of My Take, and he was just saying hammer the line. Anything under a touchdown is a guarantee. Illinois didn't even win the game. We lost that one. Bad start to the season.
You should pardon his take, right?
Yeah, it was tough. And then a bit of a homer pick for Jet. He had Stanford by -7 when the actual line was it K-State by 7 or something?
Wait, who won that game?
We don't need to talk about it. Living in the past. I mean,
that was a mistake.
Even starting at quarterback.
That was a mistake too to start the season. Shaw couldn't pick a quarterback to stick with. Both were not great. They had one Garbo touchdown that got him on the
Here's
board.
what happened. I underestimated Kansas State. They played incredible ball. They have a quarterback that played lights out. What happened was, and I knew this was going to happen, Stanford was going to test out both their quarterbacks. I think both of them are great. But, that's a hard thing to pull off. I just thought Kansas State was going to be terrible. So I was wrong.
Yeah, that was not the case. We started off the season down 2 units.
Kansas State could be terrible.
Yeah, but Stanford could be terrible as well.
Absolutely.
But that was just the start, dip our feet in the water, get a little taste of the action. Then we went into Florida State and Notre Dame. That was our next game that we went into. We took Florida State first half +4. That was a hit. Florida State total for the overall game plus 7.5. That hit, and then we put in a little parlay action. One of Jet's specialties. We went Florida State plus 7.5 with the over 53.5. Easy money. As Notre Dame is a fraud once again, so that got us back on track into the green.
Wait, I wasn't listening, but you said whose pick that was, right?
I said that was Jet's pick.
Okay.
Jet's specialty.
You know what you guys should do? You guys should definitely track your picks. Keep receipts, and we gotta see weekly percentages. I want to see it updated. I want to see who's actually doing well.
Dude, we're gonna have standings. We're gonna have competitions. We're gonna have rankings for every sport overall, what the plus minus on the money is flowing in and out of this, each season, and just building off of that, we finished off with the Monday game with Ole Miss and Louisville. We took Mississippi minus 6.5 first half. That was easy. Louisville looks like D3. Then we put a little half unit on the parlay, which did not hit, but it was the Jerry and Ely, the running back, over 1.5 receptions, hit in the first 2 minutes of the game, and we were like, oh, we're rolling. But Braden Smith, over 56.5 reception yards. Malik Cunningham, over 2.5 passing touchdowns, and the over of 73.5 all didn't hit. We missed that. But the FSU game was enough to carry us, and we were up 3.01 units on college football. I also took Giants, a little MLB action, first 5 minus 0.5 runs at the Rockies. They were up 8-1 after 5. That was an easy hit. Got a little money there. So a total of plus 3.93 units for the weekend, just to get a little taste before we get into the podcast.
That's interesting. I'm curious about the why of these picks. Like, why did you guys pick these teams, you know?
All right, should we just get into our picks? I feel like, because I got a absolute fire hand. And I found a pick that I found a pick that I forgot I even made. I checked my account, and I see all these dollars in there, and I didn't even know why. I went and checked, and should we just go? Because
tell them what you from last week. You mean?
Let's hear the pick. Yeah.
From tonight.
Oh.
All right, so I'll get into my first pick. So this is the Zip Pack Parlay of the Week, presented by our sponsor, Zippies. After a long day at work or a late night out, Zippies lives up to their slogan as people unanimously shout, "Next stop, Zippies." Their robust menu features signature items such as their fried chicken, oxtail soup, spaghetti, and of course, their famous original recipe chili. All right.
Thank you, Zippies. You're going to see that Zippies animation coming soon.
Yep. Thank you, Zippies. So the Zip Pack parlay that I had tonight, which I wish I would have told everyone about because I'm reading it, it looks like the most ridiculous thing ever. I thought I actually picked Tampa Bay with the points, but I went money line. So plus 300 right off the bat. Tom Brady to have over 2.5 passing touchdowns. This is a parlay, by the way. Dak to have over 1.5 passing touchdowns. The over 52.5. And Tampa Bay to win Dallas. That's plus 300 in my pocket. I mean, that just sounds so obvious. Like
$300. Well, so what was the?
No. It's 3-1. 3-1
yeah,
plus 300.
Gotcha.
Parlay King strikes again. Off to a hot start.
I mean, Akahi, tell me not. Is that like? I saw that and
I think it's a great bet, but you got to tell me why.
Forgettable. Dude, I mean, look at that. You don't. It's almost. If I was Dak, it'd be insulting. Only his line's at 1.5 pass touchdowns. Everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's hurt, dude. He's had like a year to get better."
No,
I just want to say,
valid point.
Our research extends as far as inside sources with certain training camps. Looking to get that inside edge on what players may be looking like throughout the week. To all the way down to just a feeling in the sack, like 1.5 touchdowns. That's insulting. Give me that all day. So great pick by Jet to start.
I mean, I'm sorry I didn't send it to you guys. It's rude of me.
No, that's just something to look forward to. We have all these parlays coming, making big money. So I want to get into this week and this season a little bit.
Let's run through NFL first. And
you know,
let's do NFL to start.
You guys have
NFL
any futures? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with you. You seem to have a lot of futures or season props for the NFL. You want to give us some takes?
Yeah, I got a bunch. Okay, so right off the bat, this is almost another ridiculous one. Josh Allen, MVP, plus 1,000. 10-1 odds, Akahi. I mean, how are we not going to...
Good pick.
I don't hate it.
Don't hate it. Okay, this one might perk you up a little bit. Plus 4,500, Washington football team to win the Super Bowl. I love it.
What? Do we have odds on Justin Herbert? Because I feel like that could be a sneaky play.
Let me pull it up, Jed. You keep talking.
He was in like the top 5.
Okay.
But you're gonna get good odds on all the MVP picks because anything could happen. And then Washington football team to win over 8.5 games. Ridiculous, dude.
What's
up with all
What are
these
the odds
people?
though?
Love that.
Yeah, it's minus 135. So
okay.
I think I bet like
that one you might have upped the bankroll a little bit.
Yeah.
A couple 3 to 5 units on that one.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, because that's just stupid. Free money. And then this one is just kind of a pick that I wouldn't recommend to anyone. I only put $1 on it. Davis Mills, passing leader, plus 50,000.
Not even starting week 1, but we don't shame units out here.
No. Dude, put $1, win $500. I'm sorry. Jameis Winston, passing leader, plus 2,500.
Wait, what is the lowest? Like, what are the best odds they can give you? Because I feel like Davis Mills should be higher.
No, like that's like ridiculous odds, dude. Like it's almost
for
like
a reason.
It's like the same odds as like a meteor crashing down and hitting you right now.
Maybe slightly higher chance for the meteor.
All right. So Jameis Winston, passing leader. That's actually a real pick of mine. I think that'll come to fruition. Christian McCaffrey, comeback player of the year, plus 800. That to me, I think he might even be MVP.
I got that pick on my card.
I think another thing to know here, especially for the win totals, is that there's 17 games this year.
Exactly.
So 8.5. That's barely 500. I guess it's being better than 500. Yeah.
They're coming off a conference or division
and this
title
is,
last year too.
People are ridiculous about Fitzmagic. Like he was balling out last year before Miami made their decision, and
absolutely,
it's ridiculous. Like they have a stout defense.
I think it's a great pick. The one that's more of a stretch is the Super Bowl for sure. I don't know if can lead them to the Super Bowl.
I think that's a great pick. Whatever, we'll revisit this.
They were close to knocking off Tampa Bay last year.
I think the odds are getting good.
They had a chance.
Yeah.
Their defense definitely is there. Their offense remains to be seen. But yeah, I like it. Jed, you have any more or?
Yeah, last NFL future, Micah Parsons, Defensive Rookie of the Year, plus 450.
Interesting.
I like it. Kind of easy for me.
Had an okay game
today. He didn't flash, but it was a tough matchup.
Yeah, just looking at the other ones, it felt like an easy pick. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
Let me chime in here.
Yeah,
I got one future.
What do you got?
And
all right,
the fans might be surprised, but it is based on the Seahawks win total. Seattle Seahawks are projected 9.5 wins, and I think that is absolutely absurd. The last 3 years I've made this bet, it's always been around 9.5. Every single year they're beating it. They're just a solid team. The only way they don't win 10 games is if Russell Wilson goes down. I mean, especially in a 17 game season, like that's. I mean, 10 wins shouldn't be too hard. I'd take it. It's 135. I will be making that bet. I'd encourage everyone else to. If I had the numbers pulled up, I'm sure the last 9 years they've beaten those win totals. Maybe except for 2014. Maybe I think we still won 12 games. So.
I like that a lot. I think you're right. They always have kind of this sort of an underrated preseason hype around them, if you will, because there's always like the past 5 years, the NFC West is supposed to be this dominant division, and always they're beating up each other and whatnot. But the Seahawks remain consistent for a really long time now, especially with that 17-game season. I think I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think 10 games would be a bad season if they're healthy. Healthy.
Definitely. All right, well, some of my picks, kind of along with Jets, I have Washington to win the NFC East plus 220. I really like that. Cowboys, as you see in their defense, is just very vulnerable right now. Dak is just coming back. He did look pretty good, but their run game was kind of a no-show. I like Washington at plus 220 to win the NFC East. CMC at plus, I think I saw it at plus 700. I don't know if you saw it plus 800 yet, but I love that as a comeback player of the year bet. He's like
800. Wow,
plus,
that is
I have it at
from
plus
the house
700,
right there.
7-1, and he right now he has like, depending on what site you go to, he has the third or fourth best odds to win Offensive Player of the Year.
Who are even
then,
other candidates for CPOY?
Exactly.
There's Dak.
The other one I have,
wait.
The other one I have on my card is Nick Bosa at plus 800. He has like the fifth best odds to win Defensive Player of the Year right now.
And Saquon, OBJ.
See, it's Saquon, OBJ, and Dak. Dak is definitely,
I think it's Dak or
runner,
CMC in my
but
opinion.
CMC's sheer volume that he has in that offense is just incredible. And then Saquon and OBJ, like OBJ hasn't been much like the past couple seasons. Saquon, he just plays on a terrible team with a terrible O-line, although they're like slightly improved. It's just tough to get stuff going there. Along with Player of the Year, I got Najee Harris at plus 900 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think Tomlin just feeds like their backs heavily, like Le'Veon, James Conner. So just his volume alone is just going to get him there. Plus he's a great pass catching back, which James Conner really wasn't. They haven't had that since Lev. I like that. The obvious choice is the quarterbacks like Fields and Lawrence, whatever. But I think Lawrence's record is not going to be too great. Fields might not come in until later in the season. So we'll see that.
Fair enough.
And then I got Herbert as the passing leader at plus 1,200. He was 6th last year. He missed about a game and a half. He still attempted the 4th most passes in the league. He was tied for 3rd in yards per game. And this season, hopefully, he'll have a full season of Eckler to just dump to and let him run for like 100 yards. So that'll be easy. I like that. And season props, I got Kamara under 950.5 rushing yards. He has yet to do that in his career. The closest he's come was his rookie year at 826 yards. Last year they had Taysom at QB, ran the ball a lot more, but this year Jameis is going to throw obviously more with Sean Payton calling plays for Jameis. So I like that under. Brandon Cooks over 4.5 receiving touchdowns. He's done it in 5 of the 7 years he's been in the league. Only his rookie year and the 2019 season with the Rams when Kupp had that 10 touchdown season. Even without Deshaun this year, they're 4 of the top 5 reception touchdown leaders are gone in Fuller, Fells, Kuti, and Cobb. They all combined for 18 touchdowns. That's got to go to someone. And he's only competing with Chris Conley, Anthony Miller, and Danny Amendola, maybe. And then Akahi, and I think the BDLD crew will like this pick. Chris Carson over 975.5 rushing yards. In his like 2 full seasons, he's had 1150.
975?
975.5. I like that number a lot.
100?
Shoot, I think it's like maybe like it's either like minus 110 or like plus 100. But his 2 full seasons, he had 1150 and 1230 yards, and he missed 2 games and 1 game in one of those seasons. This year he has the extra game, as you said earlier.
Absolutely.
And I think he's just on the right track. Last year he averaged 4.8 yards per carry, the most in his career. And even if they're letting Russ cook still, and his carries go down, at his career yards per carry of 4.6, he only needs, not only, but he needs 213 carries to get that mark, and I think that's totally reasonable.
I love that pick, actually. I love that pick. So let me hear your guys' super lock. What pick are you most confident in all of these that you named?
I'm most
You gotta
confident
pick one. Which one are you selling?
Kamara under 950.5 rushing yards. He's never done that in his career. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot more this year with Jameis. It's just not going to happen.
He's never gone under 950?
No, he's never hit 950.
Oh, okay. That's tough. That's tough. I don't know if I could take that. I feel like they might want to take the ball out of Jameis' hands a little more because of his
throw a screen to Kamara.
Well, you got good odds. So let's hear Jet.
Davis?
I think I'm gonna go Jameis Winston, dude. 25-1. I love it.
What was that again?
That's directly in line.
Passing leader?
Passing leader, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. We're on the same page.
You guys are totally in sync. The bookie bros in sync.
Yeah. He lets it rip. All right, let's move on to.
All right. Do we want to do the card for NFL or?
Yeah, I only have one pick for this week in NFL.
All right, what do you got?
It's just a huge parlay, so it's basically a pick for every game.
All right, we'll leave that for the end then. Is that your parlay of the week, or you got a separate parlay for the week?
Yeah, that's my parlay. Well, yeah, I mean, my zip pack parlay of the week was one of my parlays, but
yeah, but like the big time, gonna make you a lot of money parlay. This is the one.
Yeah.
All right, we can give a taste at the end. Akahi, what are your picks for NFL Week 1?
I hate to say it, but I really like the Seahawks again.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I like that.
But actually, though, I think the Seahawks are. I believe the line is 2.5. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wait, what are you guys doing to get updated lines right now?
We just go off whatever you like got it at.
Gotcha.
The lines may have moved, but just say whatever you got it at.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely taking the Seahawks. I believe it's 2.5. Or maybe it's 3 actually. I don't remember.
2.5. I got it 2.5 as well.
Yeah, no, I think just with Carson Wentz barely playing this offseason, they have a bunch of injuries across the board. I think Xavier Rhodes is out, or he's not playing. Quentin Nelson is not supposed to play. Just a few guys across the board make it kind of not an easy pick, but I think a field goal for the Seahawks is definitely winnable with the way that the Seahawks are healthy and the Colts are not healthy. You want to chime in on that?
I like that pick. I think the Seahawks are going to come out with a win to start the season, and it's definitely going to be by at least a field goal. Like you said, their injuries are there. I mean, Xavier Rhodes, you said he's injured, but it's not like he's great to begin with, so their backup is not going to be any better.
He did play decent, though.
And I think, I just think that they're going to roll.
Another team that I actually like, surprisingly, this week is SF.
Wow, that went up to 8 points today.
I really think the Lions have a terrible defense.
Yeah, they suck.
And I'm not sold. I think the strength of the Lions are their O-line, and they have not been impressive. And I don't think
it will be interesting to see Goff.
I know, yeah. So there's a little bit of uncertainty.
Let's see what you got.
But from what I've seen, the 49ers usually start out strong. So I want to say, I mean, with the line, there's no guarantee picks out here, but I feel decent about that one.
Yeah, I don't have that on my card, but the Niners are as healthy as they've ever been in the past 2 or 3 years. Defense is back up to par, and offense got all their weapons going. Like you said, Lions offense is going to be shaky to start, just with Goff coming in as a new quarterback, all the receivers are leaving, and then their defense is just atrocious.
I think my last one that I'll share with the crowd is going to be the Dolphins over the Patriots.
Love that.
I believe the Patriots are giving 2.5 right now, and I just it's Mac Jones' first game. He might be the best quarterback in the league, but there's no way, man. I mean, the Dolphins are too talented on D.
Is the Dolphins D still underrated? Like, what is rookie quarterback coming in playing against the Dolphins? I feel like the Dolphins defense proved themselves last year. I think they're gonna roll. I like sprinkling a little on the money line as well.
Oh, I would take the money line. I mean, shout out to Tua. I think he's got a great year.
I think he takes a step forward as well.
He's watching right now.
Oh, he will be.
Nice. All right, I like those picks. I also got on my card Eagles coming into the Falcons. I got Falcons -3. I think their offense is going to be potent. Jalen Hurts is they're going to be slow moving and not going to be able to keep up, especially with their defense lacking. I like the Bills -6.5 at home against the Steelers. I also like the over 48.5 in that game. I think the Steelers will be able to move the ball a little bit. As you saw, defenses are pretty shaky week 1, like the Bucs tonight. Josh Allen's going to be slinging. Over 48.5 I like a lot. I like the Vikings -3 at Cincinnati. I think Joe Burrow's first game back in a long time. He's going to be off to a slow start. Dalvin Cook's just going to run right through the Bengals defense. And Jefferson makes his case for, I don't know, maybe Offensive Player of the Year. I like the Cardinals +3 against the Titans to start the season. I don't know. I feel like the Cardinals, they are kind of overlooked because of the division they're in. Last year they came out week 1 with a win over the Niners. I think they'll do so again this year. Texans, Jags, over 45.5. Both defenses suck. I think Trevor Lawrence looked pretty good in the preseason. I think they'll be able to move the ball. James Robinson will be running well. Who do they got? Marvin Jones. He's been looking good with Lawrence and Camp. And then the Texans, they have Tyrod starting. Not Davis Mills, sadly, yet. But they still got a plethora of running backs that I think will do okay as a committee. And then Brandon Cooks, I think, will take the top off the D. And I think they'll get over 45.5. And I also, my last pick, I got Raiders +5.5 at home against the Ravens. I think new stadium, finally with fans in Vegas. It's going to be rocking. Yep. I love the home opener. I think they have a chance to win that game as well.
I mean, especially with Marcus Peters. You hear about that today?
Peters is gone. Gus Edwards is gone.
Dude,
Dobbins.
That's brutal, man.
All right. I have to run in like 5 minutes, so let me get this out there. There's one pick on my parlay that I feel terrible about. And 1.5. But I'll just say right now.
Give me your confidence level on this entire parlay right now. Like, how are you feeling?
Well, it was 100 out of 100 before I found out about the Ravens because I took the Ravens.
Money line or spread?
Give it to us. Give it to us.
Okay, so here's my 12-team parlay of the week, brought to you by Macy's. The beloved department store proudly boasts that the magic of Macy's has been enchanting the world for more than 150 years. All right, so these are all money line. We're looking at 20-1 odds, plus 20.50. Okay, here we go. You ready? 12 teams. I didn't bet all the teams. I'm 1 for 1 right now. I had Tampa Bay over Dallas. I had the Cardinals beating the Titans.
Are these all money line?
All money line.
Got it.
I had the Washington Football League taking down the Chargers. I have the Niners beating Detroit. I have Seahawks bending over the Colts. I got Broncos doing it dirty to the Giants. I got the Bills beating the Steelers. Woo! We'll see what happens there. I got the Panthers beating the Jets. That seems easy. And then I have Ravens over Raiders. Oof, my goodness. That scares me. That's going to be the game to watch for this parlay.
I think the one that's kind of concerning. Okay, go ahead. I thought you were done.
No. And then I have Rams beating the Bears, which I think will be easy. The Bears are going to lose the first 5 games where they put Fields in. And then I have the Patriots beating the Dolphins, which again I know this is it's a tough one. I don't really know what to say about this pick. And then Vikings beating the Bengals. So
it's a great parlay, great odds. Sprinkle small portion of your bankroll. I think Ravens over the Raiders isn't the most shaky. I personally think it's the Dolphins-Patriots game. I like the Dolphins a lot in this one.
I understand why you're coming with this team because you've been talking about it all day, but I have a hard time seeing the Chargers losing this one. I know the spread is about even.
That's true. That's a
real tough call, man. I might have done that off my parlay.
This is the coming out party, baby.
This is the Macy's. This is the Macy's parlay. We do everything.
I had to pick 12.
If you're gonna beat them, if Washington's gonna win the Super Bowl, you're gonna win this week, right?
It's not gonna break your week if you don't hit on this, but it'll definitely make your week if it hits.
Yep. All right,
And
all right.
it's bound to hit at some point.
Let me get to my college pick.
Yeah, just rattle off your card for week 1 college football.
Okay, well, my first future is, which I think everybody on this call should take, is Stanford Pac-12 North Division winner plus 1,800, 18 to 1 odds.
Hey, the North is looking real weak though.
Yes.
We'll get into that later more.
So, again, keep that one on your watch list. All right, so then my first college parlay for everyone. This is a Dave & Buster's prize pick of the week, brought to you by Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, play, and drink. Stop by your local D&B today, where everyone is a winner. Okay, so I have...
Love you, D&B.
I have Appalachian State money line over Miami. And then
rowdy.
At Miami, this is absolute coming out party for Appalachian State. They are. I want to bet them a future to win the ACC. That's how good I think they are. And then with that parlayed, I have the over. I forget what the line is.
Wait,
but
Appalachian
that's plus,
State is in the ACC?
Yeah, that's plus 597. Great odds. And then I have UTEP beating Boise State money line plus 1,200. That's a wild game. UTEP undefeated right now. I think they take them down. Boise State's been pretty good. I wouldn't put your money there. I would just love to see UTEP win.
Appalachian State's not in the ACC.
What are they in?
A shot there in the ACC.
I was like, what?
FCS or something.
Maybe I was just looking at the ACC schedule and Miami was playing.
They're in the Sun Belt. They're in the Sun Belt.
Perfect. Well, I should have put money on them.
What are the odds you got on that one again? 45.
Wait.
On the Appalachian State, Miami. What did you get the odds at?
Money line plus 600 basically.
I love the ambition.
No, dude, they're gonna beat Miami. I think Miami's garbage. I don't think Alabama's that good. I think Miami was just that bad. And then wait, did you guys see?
Put it on the board, bro.
Did you guys see Appalachian State game against I think it was Eastern Carolina? Oh
yeah. I was scoreboard watching. I wasn't watching.
There's no shot you actually watched the game. If you did, I'm impressed.
I did. You're gonna eat your words on Saturday.
Do you have a cousin that plays for Appalachian State or something?
I hope so.
I have a friend who transferred there from Stanford. Great safety.
Got it.
All right, and then my last pick is Stanford versus USC money line plus 600. I got Stanford winning at USC. I got them taking them down. They're gonna put in their starting quarterback for the first time. Let him play a full game. You guys don't understand the magic that has on the offense. What that has on a team to see your coach coming to one player saying it's go time. That's what's gonna happen. Money line plus 600, 6-1 odds. Those are my picks. Those are some rowdy.
What's your super lock? What's
Appalachian State guaranteed to win money line. Dude, look at their running back. Look at their running back. Unbelievable.
That is a wild card that Jet could be up millions by the end of this weekend if those hit. I love the ambition. Great start to the college football season.
By the way, great start to the weekend. Already hit that parlay.
Exactly. I mean, he's rolling, folks.
I'm rolling.
He's definitely rolling in parlays right now.
All right, guys, I got to run. Thanks for having me. Everybody, tune in every Thursday. We'll see how this
goes. Thanks for having me, Jet.
Thanks for coming on.
Lil Snupe.
Thank you for having Lil Snupe. Yeah.
See you next week.
All right, brother.
Peace.
All right, Trust. So you and me now. Is the stream still looking good?
Oh, we're doing good. I think we have.
All right.
A huge amount of concurrent viewers right now. So.
I'd love to see it. All right. Let's get into college football. You got any futures?
Well, let's see where we're at.
I only got one.
Did we wrap up the NFL for this week? Oh yeah, we did. You didn't give me your super lock, bro. Who?
Oh, okay.
Did you do a parlay or what?
NFL. Oh, that's tough. Lock of the week. NFL. It's a tough one, honestly. I like the Vikings -3. I just don't see the Bengals being able to keep up or stopping them at all.
I mean, I would go with that. I really don't think Zach Taylor's a great coach. Although no offense to Zach Taylor. And I think the Bengals just aren't there yet, man. I think Burrow's definitely going to use his game to warm up, but I think one thing that people don't realize is that the whole D line for the Vikings was out last year, and that's why they were so bad on defense.
Oh, their defense is going to be so much more improved. Zimmer's going to have them back to their normal Viking way. Jamar Chase can't even see the football right now. I don't know if you saw that. Let alone catch it. The reason, if you haven't seen this interviewer, that I don't even know where he said it, but basically the reason he's been dropping so many balls, according to him, is because he can't see the ball. There's no more white stripes painted on the ball like there is in college football. That is just the worst excuse.
All right, let me actually defend him real quick, because if you read the article, he was asked, what is the difference between the two balls? He was never asked, why are you dropping so many balls?
Okay, so that's skewed, but interesting.
It's a little out of context.
Okay, well, it's out of context, but the context is still that he's dropping a lot of passes.
You can still draw the conclusion, I think, and it's a valid conclusion to draw.
He's not look good. I do expect him to be good.
He'll be a good player, though.
Just not week 1.
Absolutely. I think I might go put some money on that one right now.
I like that a lot.
And probably Appalachian State, for sure.
Is that your NFL lock of the week as well?
No, actually.
Or are you going with the Hawks?
I actually don't want to lock in the Hawks. I think that's bad juju. But I will lock in...
good emotional hedge there.
I honestly don't think the Patriots... Sorry, my monitor DC. I don't think the Patriots are going to win this one. I would take the Dolphins getting points. Because I think the Dolphins are very well coached, and I think week 1 that's important. Although obviously the Patriots aren't not well coached, but Mac Jones' first game, like I don't know, I'm very scared. I could see him just making like 2 mistakes that turn the game. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not ready to give up on Tua just yet. He didn't have any offensive weapons to work with. I think he's going to be much improved.
Yeah, I don't think Patriots defense are going to be that scary either. I mean, Gilmore's out. Their strength, they still have some solid corners, but they don't have really much linebackers. Their D-line is sus. They signed Judon, but...
Yeah. We'll see. I like the pick.
We'll see.
All right, so college football then.
Yeah, college, I honestly don't have any picks for college.
All right. Well, I have one future.
Let's hear yours, because I'm willing to give my opinion.
This future, I think everybody should be putting something on. That's Chris Olave, wide receiver, Ohio State, to win the Heisman at 100-1 right now. That's just insane. Right, that's insane odds. Devontae Smith.
What were his numbers week 1?
He had like 4 for 118 and a touchdown. Pretty good against like a decent Minnesota team. But sure. Devontae Smith set the precedent last year, just absolutely dominating. He had a solid junior year campaign, and then he absolutely broke out, obviously, last year. I think Olave does the same. I was looking at his stats. I think he had like 50 receptions last year. Devontae had like 50-something his junior year, then broke out for like a ridiculous 120. He might not get to that, but I think Ohio State's just going to torch some of the defenses, and he's going to put up a ton of numbers. And I don't like the quarterbacks this year. Like, they're kind of shaky. In fact, like, Matt Corral from Ole Miss bumped up to 5-1 after his beatdown of Louisville, but Louisville is so trash. Like, that's such an overreaction. What was it? Clemson, DJ Uyunglele, he obviously wasn't great.
It wasn't great, but I think it's too early to draw a conclusion on it.
It's too early to tell, but no one's shown like anything yet, and I think Olave can repeat as a wide receiver Heisman like from Devontae last year.
Yeah, who are the top?
At 100-1, I gotta take something on that.
Who are the top odds getters in that? Is that?
I think it's Bryce Young, Spencer Rattler, but Rattler and Sam Howell from North Carolina, their stocks dropped a little. Howell, I mean, what the heck is he doing out there?
Yeah, for real.
Not great.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Bryce Young, it's just so hard to evaluate because Alabama's so good.
It's tough. Bryce Young's definitely going to put up numbers, but I think if it's not like I don't know, like close to Joe Burrow-esque, I think there's a very valid argument for Olave if he just by far and away outshines every other receiver.
Yeah, and how much are we talking? How much did you put on Chris Olave?
I mean, it's 100-1. You could put half a unit. You could put a tenth of a unit. It's not going to cost you much to return big if it hits. I'm not like guaranteeing he's going to hit, but at those odds, it's pretty enticing.
Oh, I actually love that. I might go put money on that. 1 to 100.
Yeah, plus 10,000.
Did you get that after the game, or did you get that?
Yeah, I think this is currently still.
Gotcha.
This was after the game. So yeah, I like that. All right. Week 2 college football.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the card.
Let's start with some discussion around some big games. Utah at BYU, huge rivalry. The Mormon Bowl, if you will. Utah is favored by 7 in Provo. Over under 48.5. I like Utah -7. I think the departure of Zach Wilson is going to be way bigger than people think, even if he's not as great in the NFL. I think Jaren Hall is just not the guy for BYU. He did not look good against Arizona this past weekend. They were the worst D in the Pac-12 last year. They gave up 473 yards per game, and BYU could only put 3 drives together. And alternatively, Utah, they gave up 270 yards per game last year, 200 yards difference. They got a transfer QB from Baylor.
Who was their QB? I was about to ask.
Okay. I forget his name, but he transferred from Baylor. Might be. I forget his name, honestly. And he didn't look the best.
Yeah, it's Charlie
week 1,
Brewer, yep.
Still adjusting to the offense, but the OC Andy Ludwig, he had the offense last year, number 1 in the Pac-12, and I think week 2 they'll get it going. It's a rivalry game. Utah's going to come out firing and want to put it to BYU. I like -7.
I agree. I think Utah's going to win here. I think Utah always comes in with a strong defensive lineup as well, and with a new quarterback like Jaren Hall, he's just going to be tested. A lot of pressure, big game. Is he a freshman, or is he just been on the roster for a while behind?
I'm not sure what year he is, but he was not great.
Okay.
Moving on.
I like that pick for sure.
I like this as a segment every week. The Playboy back blowout of the week. The biggest spread on the card. UConn versus Purdue. Purdue's favored by 34. And I'm taking Purdue. UConn lost 48-0 against Fresno week 0. Last week, they only put up 28 on a Holy Cross abysmal team in a loss. Purdue's just going to steamroll them. Yeah. Purdue's going to steamroll them.
How is UConn normally this bad?
I don't know, but they should be in the FCS or Division III. I don't know if you have any thoughts, but I think Purdue is just.
I don't, but I do want to hear more about Purdue this year.
Yeah, I mean they're not a good team, but
what I remember from Purdue last year is they were pretty bad.
They are not great, but UConn is just that bad. And it's one of those games where Purdue won't have to do much.
Purdue did beat Oregon State. I thought Oregon State was
decent, but
was decent last year. They were not great, but
Purdue will put up. Yeah, they're going to put
like,
numbers. UConn's not going to score.
Oh, Purdue was like real bad last year, but
yeah, they could get shut out again. No idea.
UConn sounds terrible.
Big game of the week potentially. Oregon at Ohio State. Ohio State favored by 14.5. Over under 63.5. I actually like Ohio State minus 14.5. The Pac-12 just continues to disappoint, as you guys were saying earlier. Thibodeau not 100% coming into this game. I don't even know if he's going to play or not yet.
Is he going to play? Yeah, that's big.
I'm not sure, but they did not look great. Ohio State, while their defense wasn't great, their offense was still rolling. Chris Olave, obviously, a Heisman candidate. But for that reason, I also like the over 63.5. Minnesota was able to put 30-plus points on Ohio State. They're not the lockdown like they were in the past years. Oregon, I forget the quarterback's name, but he's not bad. They've got some weapons. I think they lost a receiver, but I think they're still going to be able to move the ball and put up enough points to hit that over as well.
I mean, I agree. I don't think really you can bet on Oregon facing one of the top teams in the nation, or I should say you shouldn't bet on any Pac-12 team facing one of the top teams in the nation like Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson. I just don't think the Pac-12 has proven it.
Yep.
Been able to put out a roster that can compete. Who's starting for the Oregon for quarterback for the Oregon Ducks right now?
Let's see Anthony Brown.
Was he their starter last year?
Jr. I don't think so.
Got it. Yeah, because I was not impressed last year with their Tyler Show.
Oh yeah,
Tyler Show is not a good quarterback. I'm glad to hear they moved off that.
But yeah, I like Ohio State there.
It is kind of big for Oregon being. I mean, they're supposed to be solid this year, but I think I wouldn't be surprised to see somewhat of a blowout.
Yeah, it's a huge game, obviously, but Ohio State is just in a tier above. All right, and I'll just get into my week 2 card, I guess. I like a ton of the stuff this week. Coastal Carolina -25 versus Kansas. Kansas barely beat FCS South Dakota last week. Coastal, meanwhile, covered the 33 point spread they had last week. They have no problem beating up on the bad teams. It is still considered a big game for them as they're playing Kansas, Power 5 school. They need everything to boost their resume if they have any hopes of getting into the playoff.
Be very motivated. Isn't it crazy how Coastal Carolina came out of nowhere? Like, how did they even build this?
I mean, a lot of it was their schedule was completely shitty with their conference, but they did knock off BYU, right?
Yeah. With Zach Wilson.
Yeah, and I think this year I was looking at their schedule. This is going to be their biggest game on the schedule, potentially,
really?
Just because of the Power 5 matchup. I think they do have
they couldn't book another game
team
after the last 2 years.
I mean, it's pretty much booked in advance, right? So
yeah, I mean, you're right.
We'll see, and it's nationally televised. I think they're just gonna come out firing, and they're gonna want to put up as many points as possible to give them any resume booster they can.
And you got 20.5 on that.
25.
25.
I like another big game. Iowa State versus Iowa. I got Iowa at +4.5. I think Iowa State being ranked ahead is just still so much disrespect to Iowa. Iowa State barely beat Northern Iowa last week, 16-10. With Northern Iowa was driving in like a minute left and had a chance to win the game, at least tie it. They lacked any sort of big plays. They had 2 scrambles from their QB that was half of their run game, basically. Iowa State higher in the rankings once again is just disrespectful. I think Iowa wins outright, to be honest, but I like them at +4.5.
Yeah.
Let's see. Middle Tennessee at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, I like them at -20, and I like the under at 54. Middle Tennessee
at Virginia.
At Virginia Tech at Lane Stadium.
Love that.
Middle Tennessee is feeling like hot shit. They just beat up on Monmouth, but I didn't even know they had a football team, to be honest. They had a punt return touchdown to open the game, and they had an interception return touchdown later in the game. That's just not going to happen against Virginia Tech. And also, I don't know if you've seen the video, but Enter Sandman, that entrance that they come into.
That's one of a kind.
It's
really
just
one of the best intros
it's electric.
in college.
It's electric. That gets them so pumped up. They're going to have a packed house again. Middle Tennessee is going to shit their pants, and they're going to roll. That's what I think, anyways. Notre Dame Toledo. I like Toledo +17. This is more of a fade Notre Dame until they prove me wrong game. They looked. Jack Cohn, actually, to his credit, he looked pretty good.
I thought they looked decent.
State.
I think Florida State. It's too hard to tell what Florida State is yet.
But every year, they come in and they just disappoint in the playoffs. I think this year is going to be different. Toledo, they put up points last week. I think they'll be able to do so again. I like them +17, and I like the over 55.5 for that same reason. Another game, Arkansas, Texas. Texas is coming in at -6.5, and I like that a lot. I'm pounding that line every chance I get. Arkansas, I don't know if you saw, they were down 17 17-10 early in the third quarter when they were favored by 19.5. Somehow, miraculously, they covered that game, 38-17. But they struggled so much early on. Rice was they just weren't making mistakes, and Arkansas was just having trouble. Texas came in. A lot of people thought they were overrated. They're not quite back yet, but they proved them wrong against the ULL team last week. I thought is pretty decent. I think 6.5 is disrespectful, just like the Iowa State line as well. I like Texas minus 6.5. If you see here, repping Virginia, I like Virginia minus 10 at home against Illinois. And this is just a revenge game for me. Illinois, I'm fading them because they let me down last week, the first bet of the season. So, yeah, that's all I got on that.
I like that revenge.
Yeah, I like who's Georgia playing this week? I got them over 45. I think they're playing UAB. I think that last week, obviously, it was a huge game playing against Clemson. Low-scoring affair, obviously, but I think against a shitty team in UAB, they're going to put up a ton of points. 45.5, I like that a lot. Let's see, what else did I got? Navy, Air Force. Air Force minus 6, over 40.5. Since 2013, this game, Navy Air Force, has been decided by less than 9 points only once. They've also had a ton of high-scoring affairs. Since 2011, the game has been under 40 points only once. I like Air Force minus 6 to cover, win big, and I like the over 40.5. Are we gonna get cut off here?
Oh yeah, I was about to type that. We have about 2 minutes, I think. 2 or 3
I'm
minutes.
gonna rattle off my last picks. Houston at Rice plus 8, under 53. Appalachian State at Miami. Miami's minus 9. I know Jets.
Appalachian State.
Jets all over that. I don't know why. Miami minus 9. I like that. Kentucky minus 5 against Missouri, and Colorado State minus 7, under 50.5.
And who's the top pick on the card this week?
Who's
winning you money?
This is what I saved. Washington at Michigan minus 6.5. Washington lost to Montana last week.
Wow.
Like, are you kidding me? They sucked. Yeah, Washington.
Yeah,
were you at the Washington?
I was at that game, and honestly, I'm not a big UW fan. It was hilarious watching.
Yeah,
but they look bad. Their offense looked very lackluster too.
I mean, they had like 10 points or something. The fact that they were ranked coming into the season at 20 is just a joke. I don't know where that came from. They did not prove anything last year in their like 5 or 4 games that they played. I don't know where their ranked was coming from. I think coming into the big house, huge arena, place is going to be packed. 6.5, I think, is too low for Michigan. I think they cover that easily. This line is still reflecting the preseason hype that Washington has. And to me, they're just god-awful.
I mean, I think it follows the theme, too. We're betting it's a Pac-12 against known commodities. Although, has Michigan played? Did Michigan play last week? Who did they play?
They got a win against Central Michigan, I believe. It wasn't the prettiest, but they did get a win.
Better than
and Washington is just. I can't like get myself to bet on Washington. That's just ridiculous. And I do have one more pick, and it's the
last pick.
That's the weekend saver if you're low on energy, low on funds, and you need that weekend, get you back up to even, put you in the money. This is the Weekend Saver UH play powered by Bang Energy. And this is Oregon State versus Hawaii for all the homers in the 808.
Let's go.
And I wouldn't celebrate yet because I got the under at 64. I'm not going to bet against them in the spread. But I got the under 64. Todd Graham hired his son to be the offensive coordinator this year, and he is potentially the worst play caller in the nation. Against UCLA, I don't know what they were doing. They put up points against Portland State, which is nothing to celebrate. They ran the ball 48 times. That's just what you can do against a Portland State team. You're not going to have that same success against Oregon State.
What is the spread here?
Oregon State's favored by 11.
I'd be inclined to take that.
I almost would take that as well, but I like the under. Even as bad as Hawaii's defense is, They're going to want to run the ball, and they're just going to run the clock. I don't think Oregon State's offense is anything explosive, and it's going to stay under 64.
All right, that's a wrap. I think we got some great picks today, and I'm happy to introduce this new show.
Yeah, this was so much fun. I love talking college football, NFL, just sports betting in general. Every Thursday, right? We're going to have this?
Every Thursday, baby. The name is
schedule.
coming.
Name is coming. Drop suggestions if you have
gambling
any. Let us know your picks of the week. We'll drop all our cards on Twitter. We'll keep a running tally of every sport, overall standings,
success rate. Yeah, you can see if you want to ride with Lil Snupe, Yosh, or the best out of the bunch, Big Dawg.
Big Dawg. Yeah, hopefully we get some Little Dawg picks in here at some point as well. I'd love to see what he has to say.
He's just gonna pick against Wazoo every game, so.
Oh, well, that's fair. If he wants to do that, we'll see. Well, I'm interested to see these standings over the course of the season.
Absolutely. All right, check it out. Peace.